Hello! So, if you've had your cast taken off recently from your wrist, then this video is going to be for you. So today we're going to focus on some exercises and stretches that are going to help with regaining the range of motion at the wrist, as well as eventually strengthening it and a little bit of flexibility as well. So we're going to hop right into it. So for this first exercise, it's just going to be a little bit of flexion and extension of the wrist. You'll have the forearm resting on a table or a bench and the wrist hanging off. And what you'll do is just flex the wrist down and you'll hold it there for about 6 seconds. You want to make sure you're actually using your muscles to flex the wrist down, not just let it hang. And then you'll put your hand into a fist and extend the wrist upwards and then hold that for 6 seconds. Go as far as you can up and as far as you can down. And remember that a bit of mild discomfort is okay, but you don't want to go into pain, so don't push yourself too hard. And remember, for this exercise, you want to keep your forearm flat on the table or bench that you're using. Don't let it raise up. And once you have your range of motion back, you can work on flexibility. What you'll do is just extend your arm out and have your palm facing out. You'll grab that and pull it back towards you. That'll help stretch your flexion muscles. And then you can stretch your extension muscles, just flipping your hand around over. Grab the back of your palm and pull it towards you again. You'll hold these positions for about 20 to 30 seconds and repeat it 3 times. And once you're good and ready, and only when you feel comfortable, you turn this into a strengthening exercise by using a weight. Same thing, you just have your forearm resting on a bench or table, hopefully more sturdy than mine. And for flexion, you'll flex it upwards, hold it for 6 seconds, and then bring it down. And repeat that for about 15 reps in sets of 3. And then for extension, you're just going to flip your wrist over, forearm resting on the bench. Make sure it doesn't lift when you're doing this. You want it to stay flat on the bench that you're using. And then you'll bring your wrist down, hold it for 6 seconds, and then extend that back upwards, hold that for 6 seconds. And same thing here, you're going to be doing sets of 3 and reps 15. And now we'll move on to ulnar and radial deviation. What you're going to do is have your palm facing down, forearm and palm resting on a bench or table, and you'll slide your hand to one side, hold it there for 6 seconds, and then slide it all the way the other way as far as you can go. You don't want to be moving your forearm while you're doing this, just keep that still, and just slide your palm over. Repeat this about 8 to 12 times. Now, I remember when I broke my wrist, this was the most painful thing to do, so just keep at it. Mild discomfort, okay, but if it hurts too much, give yourself a break. It'll get better as you keep doing it. And this next one we're going to do is pronation and supination. You'll have your forearm flat on your thigh, palm facing down, and you don't want to move that as you flip your hand over into what's called supination, and then flip it back over into pronation. You're not going to be able to bring it all the way over at first because your muscles are atrophied, but as you keep doing it, the amount that you'll be able to go will get larger and larger, so keep at it. And eventually, once you're comfortable and you have that range of motion back, you can use a weight and just do the same motion. Flip it over into supination and then back into pronation. And for this, you'll be doing reps of 15 and sets of 3. And remember, for all these strengthening exercises, you want to make sure you're listening to your body. If you feel like you can do more, then by all means, but if it's a little painful and you think you need to do less, then that's perfectly okay too. And now we'll move on to some finger and elbow exercises, because even though the wrist is what was damaged, the joints above and below it still need to be worked. So this one's pretty simple. You just have your palm out, bring it into a tight fist, and then open it as wide as you can go. And just repeat that for about 10 times. And once you're comfortable, strengthening exercise. So grab a stress ball, a plushie, a rolled up sock, or anything really, and you'll just squeeze down into it hard as you can go. And repeat that for sets of 3 and reps of 15. And the last hand exercise is just going to be finger touches. So you'll have your hand out and touch your first finger, touch your second finger, touch your third finger, and touch your fourth finger. And then go back all the way to the first. And every time you touch a finger, you want to make sure you extend your hand fully again. And don't worry if you can't reach the pinky, for example, you'll get there eventually. And lastly, we have just an elbow stretch. You'll just extend your elbow all the way, stretch that out, hold it for 10 seconds, and then you'll fold it into itself and press that tightly against yourself. This is just going to stretch those bicep muscles a little bit because they haven't been moved in a while. And each position you hold for about 10 seconds and repeat it 8 to 12 times. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I hope recovery goes well.